Foam, greatest indie podcast on the in the history of mankind. I'm with my main man, Julian. Julian, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Nothing, just chilling. Thank you for having me.
Hey,
on the
man, it's good to have you
podcast.
here. That's what's up. So, Foam, finding other artist mindsets. I really just want to understand like who you are as a person. So, if you want to just kind of tell the people who you are, where you grew up, your background.
Well, there's nothing much to me. I'm just a big music fan. I'm 22. I was raised in Garland. That's about it. I mean, there's nothing extra to it. Just something simple, like a sandwich. Nothing extra.
Got you. That's what's up, man. I like the humbleness. Now, let's get into it, man. So, you're an artist. You make music.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So, where can the people find you right now with your music?
They can find me on Spotify, Apple, SoundCloud, anywhere. I mean, I'm on all platforms. I think I'm on all platforms, so I'm just gonna say I'm on all platforms. Yeah.
Got you. That's what's up. And before we get started, just like plug in your socials real quick so that people know where to find you.
My Twitter is Julian Garza 3500, and my Instagram is Julian__Garza.
Nice. All right, man. So we're here in Dallas. I'm with my main man, Julian, and we're about to have a really good conversation. I recently had the opportunity to finally meet Julian in person. We've been talking on Instagram and stuff like that for a really long time, and I'm just really glad we're able to have this conversation. So really jumping into it, man. A lot of people, they might not know who you are. What would you say like your genre of music, or what type of music would you say that you make?
I say I'm on the indie side of music, but I'm still like in my experimental phase, because I mean, I feel like I have a sound, but I don't have a sound, because one day I want to make this type of music, and then the other day I wake up and like, let's make this. So I'm still like, I guess I'm indie, but I don't know if it's pop, or I want to be mellow, or I want to make lovey-dovey indie, just everywhere, I guess you could say.
That's what's up, man. And you mentioned that you were from Garland.
Yeah.
Have you been able to kind of tap into that community and collaborate, or kind of and connect with any of the artists in that area?
I wouldn't say collab, but I know a lot of them. Shout out the Garland Goons,
Garland Goons, shout out.
Everybody knows them. Little E, one of the most known rappers out there. There's a lot of, I mean, Garland has a lot of artists, you could say, but I just feel like, I'm not sure, like, I feel like we just rep Dallas in general, because Dallas is just a bigger community, or I don't know how to explain it, but it's just, if you say you're from Garland, they're going to be like, what the fuck is that?
Where is that?
But I feel like Dallas is just more comfortable to say, like, yeah, I'm from Dallas, or something like that.
Got you, man. That's what's up. So when we talk about like the Dallas scene and the Dallas culture, like I know we kind of talked off camera about how like the Dallas like scene's really blowing up.
Yeah.
What do you see Dallas becoming in 2021 and into 2022?
I feel like Dallas as a whole, like, there's talent everywhere. If you see it, there's talent in the rap scene, there's talent in the indie scene, there's like different types of genres, and it's everywhere. But I guess people don't want to admit it, but Dallas as a whole, like, there's a lot of talent here, but it just needs to be exposed more than it's being exposed right now, you could say.
Yeah, and that's what we're doing right here, man. Exactly what we're doing with you. So when we thinking about music and stuff, right? So you mentioned, like, how did you start in the music industry? Like, where did you get your first like taste of, I really need to be a part of this?
Well, I'm gonna say I dipped my toes in the water back when I was engineering for some dude. I was like, man, and then even before that, like in high school, I would try to make trap beats, and it wasn't like nothing crazy. I would just put a kick, something simple. And I was like, yeah, and then I gave up, and then I went to college for like 3 semesters, and I was like, fuck, like, I kind of don't like doing this shit. So I was like, fuck it, I'll start making my own music. And that's where, I mean, what really inspired me is like always being around music. Like my parents, like, they always like listen to different stuff and stuff like that. So it's like, I guess I was born in a household where music was here and there. But I branched myself out. I feel like during high school I had like this weird phase where I would listen to everything, and like even middle school, like I had my emo phase, I guess you could say,
Same.
like Linkin Park, stuff like that. Like I would just listen to everything, and I feel like that's what inspired me the most. Like you could listen to something and you could make it your own sound too. Like I feel like what people fail to realize is that like it doesn't matter if your friends don't want you to do it, or like your friends are talking shit. Like if they're not supporting you, obviously, like they're not your
Exactly.
friends.
I feel that, and you kind of touched on something that I really would like for you to dive in on, and that's kind of like how you like you drop school to pursue this full time, and
Yeah.
I think that that's really admirable, and that's really like brave for a lot of people. Like coming in, they're like, oh wait, I need to go to college. How important is it for you? Like if you had a young kid here and they were really passionate about music and really just trying to get in and break into the industry, what words of wisdom would you have for those kids, or adults, young adults, that are like they're going to school but they just really want to do music, but they're kind of scared?
I say a lot of people don't know this. Well, they do know it, but they just don't want to admit it. But hard work has to pay off with everything that you do. Like if you're not gonna put in the work, then like you're gonna get nowhere. You're gonna be in the same step. Like what I look at life as, and this is gonna be might sound corny or something, but life is like like some ladders, bro. Like either you want to stay in the same step or you want to move up. Like that's how you gotta see it. If you're not gonna put in work, you're just gonna stay in the same step, and that's how people need to see it. Like either you're gonna risk it all or you're just gonna be in the same spot where you've been at all these years. So if you want to go make music, go make music. Go ahead. Like it doesn't matter what people say. If you like making music, that's what you want to do. It doesn't even have to relate with music. Like what people gotta know is like if it's your dreams and you believe in yourself, that's all that matters. So fuck it, do what you gotta do.
Exactly. Now I feel like self-worth and like confidence really comes to a play in this. Have you always been like a really confident guy? Like, nah, man, I don't need this school stuff. Like,
Yeah.
hey, I just want to focus on the music. Did it kind of build up? Did your confidence build up, or like have you always just been this confident?
I've always been like if I want to do it, I'm gonna do it. Like I don't want to say it like this, but I've just never really cared what the fuck people think. Like
Preach.
who are they to tell me like, yo, you need to do this or you need to do that? Like, dude, are you the one that's gonna like, I feel like people need to stop telling people what to do. Are you gonna be the one that's gonna provide for that person later? Like if it's not, then shut up and let the person do whatever they gotta do.
That's what's up, man. That's a bar right there. Now that's some wise stuff right there. So who do you have in your corner that's kind of like giving you this knowledge? Are you just learning all this stuff on your own, or do you kind of have like a team behind you that's kind of like whispering in your ear like, hey man, here's some game. Like where are you getting your game from?
I think who plays a big role in everything and how I'm seeing stuff is Danny Bonilla. Like shout out Danny, of course.
Shout out Danny, we love you, dog.
And one of my friends, his name is Benji, he goes by the name Dunzo. Really, really wise guy. He tells me to keep it calm, and Danny plays a big role too. Like before, like the more I work with Danny, the more I learn. It's like, hey, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, or like if he's just always like there for me, telling me where I can improve. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be like still going at it. Like I feel like the support system that people don't see, it's like it plays a major role in you. Like although I may not show it every day, maybe like, oh, like he helps me. Like he knows he's helping me, obviously. And obviously I thank him every time we work. So I feel like as long as you have close friends supporting you, that's what matters. Like that's what's gonna make you wiser, and it's gonna help you out in the long run. Like that's like the tunnel vision, I guess you could say.
I feel you. Now, talking on the long run, where do you see Julian being 5 years from now, 10 years from now, however long it takes for you to get where you want to be? Where is it that you want to be in this space?
I just want to be able to perform all my music. That's it. I mean, I want to help out people too. I just really want to branch out and get to know more artists. Maybe start experimenting into different genres. I wouldn't say like rap and stuff like that, but something more electronic or stuff like that.
That's what's up, man. Now I follow you on Twitter and Instagram. And one thing I noticed about you and just like your lifestyle, your aesthetic, if you will, is that you're very like candid, you're very genuine, and honestly, to me, it's very funny. I feel like your tweets are really funny to me.
Yeah.
Have you always been like that?
Yeah, bro. To be honest, it's just I've always been like a troll, you could say, but before it was way worse. I give it that. I've matured a lot, but yeah, it's just the person I am. A lot of people try to tell me like, do you do this for entertainment or is this a social media thing? I'd never do that shit. Like, I'm the same person in social media, without social media. But if I don't know you, obviously I'm gonna be like, whoa, like, slow down.
Pump your brakes,
Yeah.
son. That's what's up. Now, when we think about friends, right? Have any of them come out of the blue after hearing your music and just be like, hey man, like that's really fire. Like when it comes to like those friends from high school or the people that you've met throughout your journey, has there been like a moment where you'd be like, huh, I didn't realize you were listening to my music and like that's really cool?
Yeah, that's the crazy part. Like I didn't expect for people to start listening to my music. Like when I dropped it, I was like, fuck it. Like I like it. Like my first song, I said, I like it. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna drop that shit. Cause I remember when I first recorded, I sounded horrible. Like it was bad, bro. Danny as my witness. It was like my first recording session. It was horrible. So the more I worked on it, and when I dropped it, I was like kind of nervous. I was like, fuck. Like I think it was like my first time dropping something on distro. And I put a certain day, and I was like, is it gonna drop today? And I remember telling people like, come listen to my stuff. And I didn't expect to get that much support out of it, to be honest. I didn't expect the people to be like, oh, this is actually pretty fire, this is good. So it was crazy. Like it was surreal, bro. Like for people to just tell me like, yo, that was a catchy song, or yo, this was actually good. So it feels good to like actually experience that. Like I never expected for like people to be like, yo, this is pretty good, or because most of the time people are like, yo, this sounds like shit, or like,
keep it real with you.
Like, what the fuck is this? But I was like, what the fuck? Like I was like mind blown, and I was like, it was like a surreal moment. Like I got like teary eyed. I'm not gonna lie. At one point I was like, what the fuck? Like people are actually listening to my shit. So it felt good. I mean, it was like people from high school too, and I was like, cool. But I really don't give a fuck what they think. I was like,
bro, yeah, keeping it based. Now, when we talk about like support, how has your family been like a big support for you? Like, have you shown them any of your music? Did they discover you on their own? Like, how did that play out?
No, shout out my family. They've always been there. They tell me if I want to go for it, just go for it. But to be confident, never lose confidence. So I think that plays a big role too. Like my mom's always showing love. So shout out my mom. My dad too. So shout out everybody that supports me, especially my family. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be doing anything, to be honest. So
Amen.
They play a big motivation in my life.
That's what's up. Now, when we kind of get past all this PC stuff, this post-COVID era, where was like the first place you want to perform at?
Trees.
Shout out Trees. That's a classic. So for the people who don't know or are not like native to Dallas, like Trees is like a really great venue in Dallas, and that's kind of like where everyone kind of like starts off and stuff. So yeah, man. And so on that question, what's the first festival, what's the first concert that you're also going to go to?
I'm trying to see low key, no high key, Luna. I missed out. I was trying to go to the concert before COVID, so shout out Luna. I'm trying to go to, if I want to be honest, well, I want to see Dallas artists in general, just everybody in general. I want to see all Dallas artists perform. Like right now, I haven't really been listening. I got tongue-tied. I haven't been listening to any mainstream artist, if I'm being honest. So Dallas artists, like local artists, is what I've been jamming to. So it's pretty cool. Like, oh yeah, and the Lucy's band. Shout out to them. Yeah,
who do you say you get your influences from? I know that you mentioned like, you know, you went through your emo phase, you grew up listening to all different types of music, but are there certain bands, are there certain groups or individuals that really like you you really resonated with and have taken a lot of influence from?
Inspo, old Tyler, bro. That's what made me like. I guess that's what made me the way I am. Cause in middle school, I would listen to Tyler, and it was fucking crazy. Like I would listen to that shit, and everybody was like, "What the fuck is that? Why do you listen to this?" And that's before Tyler, before he started making the stuff he makes nowadays. Like everybody would look at me like, "What the fuck?" Like, you listen to what the fuck he's saying? Like I remember, I tried to put this chick on, and she's like, "Yeah, I can't listen to this shit." So Tyler's a big inspo for sure, but I guess you could say like, I mean, I really don't have that inspiration. Like I just think all music artists are inspirational to me because they go out there and do, like, they make whatever they want, and like it's just crazy to see it happen. Like it starts off from scratch, and then when it becomes a whole song, it's like, dang. Like, so I really don't have a role model, or inspirational. I think it's just how all artists just do whatever they want. So it's like it's a beautiful thing to see from scratch to a whole song. So yeah, I mean, I guess I don't have a big inspiration.
And now you mentioned that like you're an indie artist right now. Would you ever consider signing a deal? And if you were to sign a deal, do you have like a particular label in mind that you were just like, oh, I got my eye out for this one? If they send me an inquiry and the money's right, I'm gonna sign. Like, is there any? Do you have any?
No, but
straight up.
One that I would give into, maybe Sony.
Amen. Yeah. When you think about like kind of like how your life has kind of formed up to this moment, do you think that when COVID ends that like you'll have kind of like a grand re-entry into the music scene, dropping new music, or do you not really care about that and you just want to make sure that your music is sounding good and you'll release it during COVID? Do you have like, what are your plans for like kind of like the music release in the future?
I'm just hoping that everything comes out good. I mean, even like during COVID and after COVID, like I just want my music to be out there. You get me? Like I'm planning to drop some music, but I just wanted to be right at the right time. Like I feel like I could drop some music right now. Like I have some stuff done, but I feel like, after COVID, it's when the real work is gonna start for me. I'm not saying that I'm not working right now, but I feel like after COVID, everything's gonna be like boom, like it's gonna just, something's just gonna kick through the door and bam, like that's where it all starts off.
That's what's up. Yeah, speak that into existence, bro. One thing I would love to see, kind of like from you in your camp, is like some visuals, like from some of your past music that you've been able to release. Like, do you have any plans for like music or visuals or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm planning to drop some music videos to some new tracks I've been working with Danny. I want to make like a cameo and some certain stuff. Like I wanted to come out like just like a basic music video, but with a bang. You get me? Like I'm picturing it in my head. Like I picture it when I listen to the song. It's like, yeah, I mean, I want it to be like this and like that. So hopefully we can get something done for sure.
That's what's up, man. And so I guess on that, how would you describe your aesthetic to the people? Like when they think of Julian, what do you want people to think of when it comes to you?
Basic.
Like that sandwich, nothing extra, bro. But it's crazy because you say that, but I resonate with a lot of your music. That one song, "Don't Leave Me."
Oh, that was a very sad time in my life,
bro. Yeah, talk about it.
I think what people don't see is that your inspo comes from shit you do every day. Like, it doesn't even have to be about a person, but at that time I was so heartbroken over a chick. It was last year, and I was just like, fuck it, like it's gonna be a sad song. And I remember just like trying to put the pieces together, and I just couldn't like put the pieces together because it was like my first time writing a song. And Danny was like, well, why don't you do this or why don't you do that? So he played a big part too. Shout out to him once again. Like, yeah, bro, like Most of my songs, I think what people need to realize too is that like inspo doesn't have to be about a person always. Like it could literally be about a item that's, you could write a song about your Xbox. Nobody's gonna know you're writing about your Xbox. It's just the way you say things. Like, you could say, I miss turning you on. Well,
that's relatable.
It doesn't have to be about a girl. Like, I haven't played my Xbox that much nowadays. I could write a song saying, I miss turning you on.
That's a bar right there.
Miss spending my time alone with you. It doesn't have to be about a chick.
Don't give him all the sauce now. Don't give him all the sauce.
Don't take my bars. Don't take my bars. But yeah, I mean, yeah, bro. It's like most of the songs that I've written, it's like shit that I've gone through. But yeah, I feel like that's why I have like an attachment to them, or like that's why I care about how they're gonna sound, because it's real shit. Like it's what I feel at the moment. So I feel like that's why I'm just like so. I don't know. I'm satisfied with them when they come out. Like, although at first when I'm writing the lyrics, I'm just like, I'm not fucking with it. And then I hear the whole beat, and like, when everything comes together, I'm just like, yeah.
That's what's up. When we talk about everything coming together, creating music is definitely a process.
Yeah.
And I don't think people realize how long music takes. But kind of like on your beginning journey of like the music stage, what was something that was like an aha moment, or that you realized like, oh wow, this is different. I thought this would be a lot easier.
When I first stepped into the studio, bro. That's
talk about it.
Because I went into the studio thinking like, yo, I'm finna drop some heat. Fuck it. I thought it was gonna be like a regular session where I could just hop in the studio and be like, yo, like. But there's a lot more to it, and a lot of people think it's easy. Like, well, I can do that shit too. Well, if you can do it, go ahead and do it. Like, I'm not stopping you. Anybody can go ahead and do it. But once like the work, like it's different. It's like easier said than done. You get me? Like a lot of people think they can go ahead and do it, and then they'll go through the whole phase where like you have to record, and it's not like just one take. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's people out there that do one take, so shout out to them. But me, it's like I have to take a couple takes. I don't mind, but
definitely
that first time, I mean, that's all I gotta say. Just shake my head a little bit.
I feel you. Yeah, I remember my first time in the booth, and I thought I was killing it. And I said, "Yo, run that back, B." He ran it back, and I said, "All right, delete that, B."
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a lot of lessons learned when it comes to like the music process and things like that. So, like I know a lot of artists, and I'm not gonna name anyone in specific, but a lot of these artists coming up now, like SoundCloud artists, if you will, a lot of people seem to just kind of do it for the money. Which is totally okay. People can do it for whatever reasons, but what drives you to make music? What makes you fired up and gets you and propels you to make more music?
For people to hear my voice and me, like it's me doing it. It's like if a lot of people can hear it, that's what all I care about. If people are listening to it, like shout out to them. Like shout out to whoever's bumping my music, because if it wasn't for them, like I wouldn't say I wouldn't be making music, but I mean, it really like picks it up. Like, dang, like you get me? Like that's what's keeps it going.
That's what's up. Yeah, definitely that momentum. Now, I really want to pause and like emphasize how important it is for just the randoms, the friends, and the close circle to continue to support and just throw in those little like, hey man, I really like this, or hey, I heard this song, it reminded me of you type stuff. And I just want to say like, hey, that is a lot for creatives like us, like artists and things. It propels us. It might not seem like much, but it is a lot. So we appreciate all the support that we do get as artists and as creatives. So thank you very much for that. So I'm gonna take it off script a little bit. I'm gonna ask you 3 random questions and just say the first thing that comes to your mind. All right?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, what's your favorite color?
Red.
All right, if you could date or marry or cuff any celebrity right now, who would it be?
Not gonna lie, I have like this. I'm not gonna. Well, that's hard, bro.
He's going through his list right now. You can tell.
It's like that's a hard one, because I mean, You just don't. I don't know. Like, it's hard. That's a hard one.
Got
I'm
you.
gonna have to skip that one.
No worries. And then the last one, what's your favorite movie franchise or movie in
Pixar.
general?
Pixar.
Anything from Pixar. Pixar makes them fire.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So when we talk about like kind of like on that, you say like Pixar and stuff, would you ever consider like making a soundtrack for like any Pixar movie?
Of course.
That's what's up.
Yeah. I mean, that would be fire. Like,
That's the bag right there. That's the Pixar bag.
one of my goals is like for one day for one of my songs like to play like when that love scene, when
Mhm.
they start kissing and
Yeah.
it's raining. I just wanted my songs to like play in the background and boom, like that's that'll be a cool one. But I gotta give a shout out to T-Fam, Armand. Big role, plays a big role in my career. So shout out Armand.
Shout out Armand. Shout out T-Fam. Now, like you're very, to me already from this conversation, you're very humble. You're very, yeah, you're just very humble and very genuine type of guy. And you always give respect to where it's due. Have you ever ran into a situation where someone did not give you the respect that you deserved, as in like when y'all were working together, collaborating, and how did that shake out?
Yeah, I mean it's happened a couple times, but I just see it as like, I mean, if that person didn't appreciate my time, well, fuck it. Like, there's gonna be somebody else, another person to collab with. So I mean, just move on from that and just learn. I mean, even if it was my fault or however it played out, it's like you just move on from that. I'm not gonna hold on to the past and be like, dang, like this person really didn't want to work with me. Like, fuck it, who cares? I'll move on. Next person.
That's what's up.
Next track.
Dang. Very, very wise, very based. When we think about like collaboration, so one of my favorite artists right now is JPEG Mafia. I would love to have like a collaboration with JPEG Mafia.
Yeah.
If you're watching this, JPEG, hit me up. But is it who would you say is like your dream collab like?
Dream collab, like any artist, right?
Any artist, any band.
That's a hard one, bro. I would like to collab with like a lot of artists. I know like this is like a dream. This is like a unicorn, but Frank Ocean. That would be that'd be crazy.
Frank, if you're watching, bro, hit us up, man. For real, hit Julian up first.
Frank Ocean, I think, yeah, bro, but Frank or like I wanna do a collab. As crazy as this sounds, I wanna do a collab with. Never mind.
Psych.
Brain farted. Yeah.
It's all good. So like we see a lot of artists kind of like converging like outside or diverging outside of the music industry. Would you see yourself kind of dipping your toes into other aspects of the entertainment industry, whether that be, I know we already talked about movies, but would you ever want to star in a movie? We talk about like Travis Scott just had his collab with McDonald's, which is fire. I have one of those teas.
I'd be open to anything, honestly, but yeah, I mean, I'm just there trying to live the best moment, always give it my all no matter what it is. Somebody asked me to do something, I'd go in 100. That's all I gotta say.
That's what's up. Yeah, when we talk about like how you live your life, how would you describe like how you live your life every day?
Every day is like new, so I don't know. I really don't have a plan for the next day, unless I don't know. I just wake up and whatever comes up comes up.
That's
I'm not really a big fan of planning ahead, due to the fact that it's like, I don't know, I feel like anything can happen. So just wake up and wait for everything to hit me, like, yo, you want to do this or let's do that. Maybe I do plan like, oh, we're gonna do this Friday, like, okay, like stuff like that makes sense.
Got you.
I don't like looking at stuff in the long run, like, I mean in the future, because it's like, what if it doesn't happen? So
Exactly, man. And one thing I want to touch on is that you're a member of the Latinx community, and here like Dallas, the Latinx music is really like blowing up. Like you had mentioned Luna as one of those bands that are really blowing up here. How important do you think it is to really highlight the Latinx like culture in your music, or just how you carry yourself?
I want to give a big shout out to like the Latin community, because we have artists like Brian Rosdahl, Ariel in the Culture, Luna Luna. I'm pretty sure there's more, but those are the ones that I've seen that are like, putting in that work. So, I mean, I feel like it's a big part to show like where we come from, and like maybe try to throw in a little bit of a root. I know like it's hard to, but we can do it. Like I don't know how to explain it, but it's pretty cool. Like being part of the community, it's like it's pretty cool, because there's like different stuff. I mean, we can look at it from different types of music too. Like there's cumbia, there's like the fast-paced music, slow-paced music. I mean, we can get inspo from a lot of stuff. Not even just Latins in general, just like everybody. Like, I get inspiration from like all types of stuff, bro. So I mean, shout out to all the Latins putting in that work. Means a bunch.
Yes, sir. Now, like, I'm gonna ask you some thought-provoking questions, and I know you're gonna be ready for it. So here we go. Do you believe in like reincarnation?
Yeah, I'm a big not a big fan, but I'm a big believer of that. I feel like when you meet somebody that you're really close with or have a good bond with, you must have been like really cool with them back in your past life.
Yeah.
Or like, I just believe like if you put in great energy into this world, you come back as something more badass in your next lifetime, I guess you could say.
I agree. Yo, and like one thing you talked about Danny actually like really got me on my spiritual journey after like speaking to him about a lot of like just life in general and stuff. How do you just keep your energy, talking about positive vibes and just energy, how do you keep your positive vibes around you? Like, how do you keep out the bad vibes for the people that are watching?
I try not to let dumb stuff get to me, or arguments. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes I talk my shit, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I try to like not let stuff get to me. Like I try to keep my head up and be like, yo, well, they were talking smack for a reason, or, But yeah, I try to be as calm as I can.
Gotcha.
But there's just some things that trigger me, so when it triggers me, I'm just like, ugh.
And now, like, I feel like, social justice is becoming like a really big thing in music, and most particularly like rap, like, like YG, fuck Donald Trump, and like Lil Baby dropped some heat. The Baby remixed one of his songs. How important do you think it is for artists to utilize their voice to talk about things that they care about?
I think it's very important. Once you have a platform, it's really important. Like if you want to speak about something, go ahead and speak about it, because a lot of people are watching. It's not like before, like where just a couple of fans are looking at you. Once you're like up there, I mean, me personally, if I was up there, I would use my platform to speak about stuff. Like you just gotta be an inspiration to the kids, not just kids in general, but to everybody. Like it helps out, and I feel like it just helps out everybody, not just like a certain group of people. Like I'm not saying that it's just for the kids, it's gonna be for like adults too. Even though some adults are hard-headed about like why are you listening to artists, but I feel like it's important. Like it plays an important role for our society, I feel like.
Got you. And now when we look at the world and we look at kind of like where music is taking us, there seems to be like a lot of influence right now on like the dance hall and a lot of the Latinx like artists right now. So I'm thinking like Bad Bunny and people along those lines. What do you think the next big like wave of culture is going to be to really have that influence on like pop culture?
That's a hard one, honestly. I don't even think it's going to be a next culture. I think it's going to be a mix of cultures, the next wave. I feel like we're all coming together and we're realizing like what's the point. I mean, I feel like a lot of people see it as a competition. Like it shouldn't be a competition. Like if you want to work with, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like I feel like some people like talking shit about cultures, and it's like, bro, you don't know what the hell that person has been through. So
Facts.
I feel like once the hard-headed people get over that phase, they get like, oh, well, I can't relate to you because shit like that. I feel like the next culture, or I mean, the next wave is about to be the mix and match shit. Like, we're gonna try to put in this with that, and it's gonna be badass, like a puzzle. Like, once those pieces get together, it's gonna be crazy.
Got you. Now, some artists care a lot about like their style. A lot of people, some artists care about like their cars and like other materialistic things. Like when it comes to like the material things, when you finally get that big boy bag, like what's the first big like purchase you're gonna like ball out on?
A house.
A house. Be smart, y'all. Don't be buying the chains and the jewelry and all that fun stuff. Don't be going to the club and blowing your money. Definitely invest in some real estate.
I would really like to buy a house, and after a house, I'd go for that Tesla.
Hell yeah. I'm trying to get that Cybertruck right now. Now you say you're from Garland. Would you see yourself kind of like staying in the Garland area, or would you kind of want to be closer to the Dallas culture itself and like live closer to Dallas? Like, where do you see yourself really posting up and like settling, not settling, but like just establishing your like headquarters, if you will?
I think it all depends how it works out, honestly. Like I said, like, I don't know, I haven't really looked into the future. Like, it's just like, if it happens, it happens. But I mean, wherever I go, I'm pretty sure, like, I would like to help out the community any way I could. Like, I try to, just be there for the people. Like, those in need, I would really like to help them out and stuff like that. And I don't know, like, I mean, Garland, Dallas, wherever, but one of my biggest goals is to, like, go to Montana.
Montana?
Yeah,
okay.
Like, just in the middle of the woods, just whatever.
And zen out.
Yeah.
Would you ever make a song or a project in the woods just to like for that woody vibe?
Yeah, I would love to. One day, yeah.
That's what's up,
man.
man.
Speaking it into existence. Montana.
Good. Now, you sing, of course. You've mixed and done the engineering thing. Are you have you ever dove into like playing instruments or anything along those lines?
Yeah, currently, or it's been like a couple months. I'm trying to learn how to play the keys. I try to hop on the guitar, but the guitar's like a little bit more. I get confused with the strums, and I'm just like, it's just confusing. But I want to get into learning how to play everything at one point in my life. I'm not saying like ASAP, but yeah, I would love to do that. Like, hop on the bass, hop on the drums myself, and stuff like that.
Got you. Now I know, kind of like on our off-camera conversation, we talked a lot about like just the Dallas culture in general. So in my experience, I've felt like there's been like there's pockets here and there, but actually you feel a little bit different about like the Dallas community, because in my experience, like it's like, oh, no one really wants to work with you unless you're doing numbers, or unless you're like well known. What's your experience kind of like collaborating and engaging with Dallas artists?
I just feel like, I mean, honestly, like I said, sometimes it might be like a competition to them. So I feel like they'd be like, oh, well, you're not going to benefit me. I mean, I guess it makes sense, like, who are you, or something like that. But I feel like we could be like a top city where, like, if we come together as a whole, like, we could be one of the top cities and take over like the music scene crazy.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that one. And one thing I've noticed is like when people really get popping, like I feel like the first thing they want to do is go to California. We talked a little bit about this off camera, but just expand a little bit on it. How important is it to you to kind of stay in the community? Because you're very all about like Dallas and very community oriented. So how important is it for you to stay in the community?
I think it's important just due to the fact that it's like, if it wasn't for the people in Dallas, I mean, I wouldn't, like, like, let's say I get my big boy back, like, if it wasn't for the people in Dallas, like, I wouldn't be like, still pushing and shit like that. So I mean, I think it plays a big part. Like, even if I do end up moving or whatever, I feel like it'll have to be for business purposes or some shit. So
got you.
Wherever the boat takes me, I'll go.
That's what's up. again, never planning out the future. I think it's really cool that you're like not a wanderer in in a bad sense, but like
Yeah.
you move with the punches and you're very
Yeah.
fluid. I've talked to a lot of other creatives, and one thing that is like kind of universal but not universal is that they're either really wanting to plan out like their life to the T, or they just roll with the punches. And I feel like the people that really roll with the punches are very like they're the more creative out of the bunch. They're
Yeah.
both creative, but I think that the ones that roll with the punches